The U.S. Marshals arrested Kevin Foe this morning, the 24-year-old in New Orleans, and he is being charged with capital murder for the killing of Ashanti Allen and their unborn son, Jackson. Now, court documents lay out disturbing details. Investigators say Foe strangled Allen, likely using a cord, which also killed her unborn baby, Jackson. Surveillance video shows Foe with Allen the night she disappeared before her car leaves the area. Using cell data, investigators were able to track Allen's movements and place Foe near key locations. A witness even told police Foe called her on FaceTime, admitting to the killing and showing what appeared to be Allen's body. Now, records show Foe later left Houston, taking a bus to Louisiana to meet a woman. Today, Allen's family tells us they believed from the beginning Foe was responsible and are relieved he is now off the streets. The family also said to put out a message tonight urging young women and their loved ones to speak up and pay attention to warning signs so no one else ends up in a situation like this. But after reading the court documents, they say they're heartbroken because the couple had previous domestic disputes, and they're hoping this time justice will be served.
First, I want to thank everyone for their support. I really would like to personally thank the U.S. Marshals for capturing Kevin. I already knew from day one that he was the one who did something to my baby. I just didn't know what at the time. But when my son came in and had the biggest smile on his face this morning, I already knew it was some good news. I still have a lot of questions. Doubt if he would answer because he didn't answer any that Friday night when I called him in my vehicle. But there's still a lot of questions that needs to be asked. One of the reasons is why. I cried, then my cries turned to anger, and after reading that report, it just turned me angry all over again.
Like he hated my sister, like
yes.
He didn't care about her at all. As much as we did for him, we took him in, we fed him, gave him a car, everything. And for him to just take her like that and did the way that he took her was just like he had no feelings for her, nothing.
He's captured, and I pray that the Harris County judicial system do the right thing.
Please.
And do not fail my daughter a second time.
Yeah, we got a long way more to go, guys. We're going to lay our daughter to rest Sunday, and I think that's going to be the hardest day of my life.
She was 8 months pregnant, barely able to walk on her own, and at 2:25 in the morning, she left her apartment with the one person her family trusted to keep her safe. That was the last time anyone saw Ashanti Allen alive, April 9th, 2026, going into the early hours of April 10th. Apartment complex surveillance cameras picked it up. Ashanti leaving the building with Kevin Fox, up-B5, who was reportedly behind the wheel of her car as they pulled away. The night before, she had texted her mother Teresa, saying she felt dizzy and was still recovering. She told her she would come get the key the next day, less than 4 hours after that text exchange. At exactly 3:50 in the morning, Teresa's phone lit up with a new message from Ashanti's number. "I'm 5. It read, "I'm leaving. I'm not coming back." Teresa woke up, read those words, and felt something drop in her chest that no mother should ever have to feel. She said she knew immediately. Not suspected. Knew. The time was wrong. The tone was wrong. The words were wrong. Her daughter was 8 months pregnant with a high-risk pregnancy. Point 5, using a wheelchair in her final weeks because she could barely walk unassisted. That woman did not send that text. Something had already happened. On 5. But here is what Teresa did not know yet. What nobody knew yet. 13 minutes before that text was sent from Ashanti's phone, Kevin Fox was already on a FaceTime call, not at home, not with family, outside, in a wooded area, in the dark, sweating, frantic. He called a woman, not a girlfriend, not a close friend, an acquaintance. At 3:17 in the morning, 5, and according to court documents, he told her what he had done. And then he turned the camera and showed her at 3:46 a.m. The 5, he sent that same woman 2 text messages. The first read, "I had to fight for my life." The second, sent 4 minutes before Teresa received that text from her daughter's phone, Read, I am a felon and I took someone's life. Let that timeline sit with you for a second. He confessed on camera at 3:17. He texted a confession at 3:46. And at 3:50, 4 minutes later, someone used Ashanti's phone to send her mother a goodbye message she never wrote. What Kevin did next tells you everything about who he is. He did not turn himself in. He did not call for help. He went to the welfare office and applied for food stamps. He went to the mall. He cleaned Teresa's car so thoroughly, the car Ashanti had been using, that he removed the decal off the vehicle. Then he packed a bag, walked to a Greyhound bus station, and boarded a bus to Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, where a woman he had never met in person was waiting for him. A woman he had been speaking to online. He funded his entire escape with Ashanti's debit card. All of this was happening while Teresa and her family were out on those streets searching, while they were knocking on doors, while they were tracking phones and driving to addresses and standing in front of Kevin's mother's house demanding answers. Because Kevin's mother, Kimberly Young, had a role in this too. When Ashanti's family tracked her daughter's phone and it pinged at Kimberly's house, Kimberly looked them in the eye and said the phone was not there. She called Kevin while the family was standing right in front of her. He pulled up in Teresa's car, the same car he had been driving when Ashanti disappeared. And when Teresa walked straight up to him and asked how he had her vehicle, if he had not seen her daughter in over a week, he said nothing. Then before police even arrived, Kimberly let him remove a bin from the property. Inside that bin, muddy shoes. And then he was gone through the back. Kimberly told the family he had gone to Atlanta. She waited a full hour after Kevin had already boarded that bus to Louisiana before she gave anyone his actual location. 1 full hour. Teresa had told police from the very first moment. If anything happened to her daughter, Kevin Fox did it. 5, and the whole time the family was out there searching, burning through every lead, begging for answers, he was on a bus, eating on Ashanti's card, riding toward a woman who was waiting for him, acting like he had somewhere to be. He did not act like a man with nothing to hide. He acted like a man who had already decided what came next. 5, and the question that investigators had to answer, the question that changed everything, was what happened in that 20-minute window. Between 9:02 p.m., when Kevin's phone pinged near a dark dead-end road, and the moment he went silent on every line of communication he had. 20 minutes, no texts, no calls, just silence. That silence is where Ashanti Allen disappeared. If you have been following this case or you knew Ashanti personally, drop a comment below. Let her name stay in these comments. Let her mother Teresa see that people who never met her daughter still know who she was. And if you are new here, subscribe, because we are not done. Not even close. Let's talk about what the system knew, and what it did with what it knew, because Kevin Fox did not appear out of nowhere. He did not snap one night without warning. There is a paper trail on this man going back to 2019, a documented, court-stamped, legally processed record of exactly who he was, long before Ashanti Allen ever trusted him with her life or the life of her unborn son. 2019, assault charges. 2020, 2 years in prison. 2021, another assault charge. A different woman, same pattern, same hands. 5. And then September 2025, charged with continuous violence against the family. A third-degree felony. The victim this time was Ashanti, specifically. Multiple physical altercations. When the case went through the system, Kevin Fox sat across from a judge and admitted the allegations were true. He signed the plea agreement. He confirmed it happened. And the system looked at all of that. The 2019 charge, the prison time, the 2021 charge, the felony, the admission, and handed him a misdemeanor. Released him 138 days early. No ankle monitor, no probation, no conditions. Just go. Ashanti's father said it out loud so there would be no confusion. A second go-around, same type of offense, same type of victim, I-5, and he did not go to prison. He went home, to Ashanti's apartment complex, where her mother lived in the same building, where she was 8 months pregnant and could barely walk. The system saw every red flag on that file and handed him back to her anyway. Now let's talk about the FaceTime witness, because this detail does not get enough attention, and it should. Kevin did not confess to police. He did not break down and call someone he loved. At 3:17 in the morning, in a wooded area, in the dark, he called a woman he had never met in person, M5, and an online acquaintance. And, according to investigators, he told her what he had done, and then he turned the camera. He physically turned his phone and showed her what was behind him in those woods. This woman, who was not family, not a close friend, not someone with any personal stake in protecting him, sat on that information for 4 full days before she walked into a police station. 4 days, while Teresa was on those streets, while the family was burning through every lead they had, while Ashanti's phone was pinging and going silent and pinging again. What did she see when he turned that camera? Investigators have not released that detail publicly, but Kevin sent her 2 text messages at 3:46 a.m. 14 minutes before Teresa received that goodbye text from her daughter's number. The first said, "I had to fight for my life." The second said, "I am a felon, and I took someone's life." He was not confused about what happened. He was not in shock. He was texting about it in complete sentences 14 minutes after the fact, and then organizing a bus ticket to Louisiana. Here is where the evidence trail tightens. Surveillance footage from a nearby business captured a man believed to be Kevin Fox at approximately 3:20 a.m. dragging something toward Chimney Rock Park. That timestamp places him at the park during the exact window of the FaceTime call. Simultaneously, he was on the phone showing someone what he had done while the footage was recording him doing it. On April 15th, I-5 investigators located Ashanti's phone, not at her apartment, not in Louisiana, inside Kimberly Young's house, the same house where Kimberly told Ashanti's family the phone was not there. 5. The same house where she called Kevin while the family stood right in front of her. The same house where she let him walk out the back with a bin of muddy shoes before police arrived. Ashanti's phone, her phone, was sitting in that house while her mother was out on those streets convinced her daughter might still be alive. The phone's location data pointed investigators directly to Chimney Rock Park and the surrounding area. On April 16th, search crews found Ashanti Allen along the banks of Willow Water Hole Bayou. She was recovered with her unborn son still inside her, baby Jackson. The name she had already chosen, the name she had already been using when she talked about him to people who loved her. And then, because there was apparently no bottom to how far Kevin Fox was willing to go, after he was charged, after his name was public, 5 after the story was out, he sent a message to Ashanti's brother Xavier. A threat. He said, if anything happened to his mother Kimberly because of the public attention this case was getting, 2 people from their family would go missing. And he made sure Xavier understood he was not joking. A man charged with the capital murder of a pregnant woman sent a threat to her grieving brother from custody. This is who the system released 138 days early. This is who got the misdemeanor instead of the felony. This is who walked out without a monitor, without probation, without a single condition designed to keep Ashanti Allen breathing. The warnings were there, every single one of them. Stamped, 5 filed, and ignored. Drop a comment below and tell me, at what point in this timeline did the system fail Ashanti? Because there was more than one moment, and I want to know which one hits you hardest.